Hello and welcome to another portion of our LMS video training series. My name is Nora Mosesian and I am the Director of Faculty Affairs here at University of the People. In this video, I will be demonstrating what the typical UO People course looks like. We don't have very much variation between our courses, and this is a good thing so that you can have instructors move from course to course easily, have instructors be reassigned to another course if need be, if they're qualified to teach. It also brings order for our students, not to have courses that look wildly different. So going through the course that I'm going to go through in this video, you'll be fairly familiar if you come across one that's your own subject matter that we're not going to cover here, but the point isn't the content in it right now, it's just the modules that you'll come across and kind of what the different areas mean. So in the last video, we kind of explored what is going on this homepage and some of the areas in Moodle that are not directly related to the courses you're teaching, such as the Faculty Resource Center, the Peer Assessment Office, and the Online Student Writing Center. I want to remind you again that for Online Student Writing Center and Peer Assessment Office, as an instructor, you will not be enrolled in those, so you won't see those right away. This is something we're working on changing, so it may change by term 1, but for now, you would see the courses you're teaching and the Faculty Resource Center. But just know that these other two areas do exist, and that you should be referring students who are having trouble with either writing or peer assessments to go to them, because students do see these two areas in their My Courses drop down. So in focusing on a course that you're going to teach, once again, you would access your course here or scroll down and access it in this area. Once again, as I stated in my last video, once you're done teaching a course and the term closes out, you still have access to it, but it'll just be faded out. So these are courses that you currently have access to that are active and open for others. So we're going to enter into and take a look at University 1001, which is Online Education Strategies. This is a very large course. It's our largest course, meaning there's multiple groups, multiple sections, several instructors that teach University 1001. Many students, all students must take this course, which means many students are auto-registered, auto-enrolled. Also means it has a high drop rate, but it's basically the first course, or first of a handful of first courses that students must go through to continue studying with us. So I felt it was a good demo course to take a look at. All your courses, the headers will look like this. So just like the home page had Welcome to University of the People, when you see this logo and your course title, you know that you're at the course homepage. And another way you know you're at the course homepage is you'll see the UO People clock. So when you see the clock, you're on the homepage of your course. This area here, right here in the center, is what I like to refer to as Unit 0, because it appears above Unit 1. It's still an important part of your course, but it is kind of technically, quote-unquote, outside of your course. Not outside of your course, but kind of outside of the unit areas where all the assignments are. The syllabus is here, so I recommend reviewing the syllabus. Again, our syllabi are pretty much structured the same. Many of the grading breakdowns are the same across courses, but there are variations. I absolutely recommend reading through the syllabus, especially the course description, the outline of what's going on every week, what your students are supposed to do, are all here. If the course has a main textbook, it will appear here. If it doesn't, the syllabus will have a statement saying this course does not have a main, a single textbook, but your reading materials are provided in the learning guides every week, and that could be the case. Course forum and announcements forum are two areas you should be fairly active in. The course forum is an area that is a little more informal. It's a place where people can Students can introduce themselves, say hello, say goodbye. This is a good description of it, that they can initiate questions to their instructors or classmates, but it also serves as a meeting space kind of outside of the course, meaning outside of the unit areas where discussions inside the unit areas must be assignment related, but the discussions in here can just be more general, a little more informal. So that's your course forum. Your announcements forum is a little bit more formal, and it's an area that only you should post in as an instructor. You are reminding students about plagiarism policies, about all kinds of policies, about dates, important dates to follow, about anything you can think of that you want to restate or reinforce for your students, your rules, how you don't accept late assignments, even if it's things that we already state in the catalog, of course, your students can use the reminder, so please feel free to do that. And I would recommend announcements forum be used at least once a week. Your participation in announcements and course forum shows your presence in the course. So I do find these two areas important. And that does pretty much wrap up Unit 0. Other courses will have other things. There's an extra orientation PDF in this course that doesn't appear in other courses. But for the most part, the main 4 modules that will be, the main 4 files that will be here will be syllabus, textbook, course forum, and announcements forum. Please ignore this block for now. This block is tied to the news forum, which should be hidden. It'll be grayed out. Please don't post in here. It will not reflect on this block. These two are tied together, but they're currently unused. We use announcements and course forum for the Unit 0 area. You will find this similar 3-column structure that our homepage has, and yet again the calendar. That doesn't change, it's just a smaller version of the main calendar, but it's inside your course this time. Navigation is possible through the menu on the left, or just simply navigating to where you want to here by just scrolling down. Please remember, as an instructor, you will likely see everything open for you and faded out, but your students only see one unit at a time. So at the beginning of term 5, when term 5 launches, your students will see Unit 0 and Unit 1, but they will not see Unit 2. But you can see what's coming ahead, but your students only see everything 1 week at a time. Once a unit uncovers itself and it's open for the learning week, it will not close again. So the unit will remain open for access. Of course, modules with assignment deadlines, those will close based on when the deadlines are, but the overall unit itself will remain open for access to learning guides or whatever areas that students want to go back to. So once a unit uncovers, it remains uncovered, which is why, because I'm demoing a Unit 4, a Term 4 unit right now, a Term 4 course, everything is open because we're pretty much at the end of the term. So, and final exams just opened as well. So everything is open and not hidden. If these were closed, they would just be grayed out. So you can, it's pretty easy to tell when something is not yet open, especially by the dates as well. So, okay. Your grade book is in your lower left-hand area, and there is a video dedicated to how to use your grade book, just pointing out where it is. And one of the most interesting areas, I think, when you first get in here, would be online users, kind of seeing who else is in here with you or was here recently, but especially participants. I like this module. I think this is a great first place to start, so you can kind of see who's in your course. It's basically your roster. You can find similar information by going to the grade book, but I think this is visually just easier to look at. So once again, it's a little bit lower left under people, participants, and that will open up a page like this, and you can take a look at who's in your course. Clicking on the names will take you to the student's profile. You can read about them, see their email address and what group they're in. Well, you're going to see only your group students. So I'm administrator, I see everything, so it's hard to bring it down to the instructor level for me. Yeah, participants list is a great place to start to kind of get to know who's in your course. And upcoming events are tied to what's happening in the modules. So if a module is has just opened or is about to close, you'll see them over here. And again, it's 8 weeks of study. Every term is 8 weeks of study and 1 week of final exams. Now the final exam is only 4 days long, but the unit is open the entire week. So again, technically it's 9 weeks long, but we don't really count Unit 9 as a learning week. Unit 9 is just dedicated to final exams and wrapping up and instructors grading and finishing up grading. So the final exam period is only 4 days. It starts on the Thursday of week 9, which would be right now, like June 2nd, through the 5th. So it's the Thursday through the Sunday of week 9 is when the final exam is accessible. And there you go. Thursday, June 2nd to Sunday, June 5th. That's when the exam itself is open, but of course the unit is open longer than that, and the exam module is open longer, so students can go in and see the results or the overall score. So there's a difference between one thing you should note, there's a difference sometimes between the dates that are written here and what's actually available. So for example, this is a good example. Your final is available after June 2nd, and until June 8th you can click into the module, so it's not hidden, but the module itself, like the exam itself, is only open from the 2nd to the 5th. This is also why it's important to remind your students these really simple things, such as the final exam is only 4 days long, June 2nd through 5th. We reinforce this in our site news. We send emails to students, but you should do it as well, because sometimes Moodle will throw people off by saying, June 2nd to 8th. Students should never go off of these dates written on the modules. They should go off of what's actually in the introductory area. So this quiz opens June 2nd, closes Sunday, June 5th. So all of our students are pretty well versed in the final exam being 4 days, but we always get exceptions. So one thing you'll learn at UO People, or I believe at every school, it is this way. No matter how clear you are and how much you explain, you will always get people that will argue against it or try to bring their case to the surface on why they should be an exception. But yeah, we are fair in listening to why, but for the most part, we do try to be very clear about deadlines, and that's why we have the calendar in place, and announcements go out in the site forum. So that's about it on the general overview of your course. There are future videos that will go into every single module and explain how to use them, what they're for, and best practices. Most of your interaction with your students will be through messaging and email, through your forums, your course forum, your announcements, and your discussion forums, in contributing to the discussion and helping students out, answering their questions, and of course in the grading oversight that you provide to your students for the written assignments. When they have issues with peer assessments, you're the oversight person, you're the person who has oversight on grading, as well as discussion forums. If there's something goes wrong in peer rating, you come in and help on that as well, and you are allowed to rate them if they don't rate one another. And of course learning journals, which you directly assess. So it's the one place where students submit work to you and get actual grading and feedback from you as well. So this is what I meant in my other video, in that we really try to cut out automation and don't give too many technical controls to our instructors so that they don't get caught up in the technical administration, and really do focus on writing to students, interacting with students, answering questions, and grading and feedback. So I wish you the best of luck in future training videos and understanding each of the modules better and how to interact with your students. And of course, if you have any questions, contact me and Joseph anytime and we will clarify. Enjoy the rest of the series.